Hey guys, I am Game Advisor and welcome back to another Icarus Tips video. If you haven't already seen them, we have several other videos for you guys to watch, so make sure to look for those at the end of this video or just check them out on our channel. With that being said, let's get started. First up on our list today is that iron and wood storage containers have almost the same amount of space. If you didn't already know this, you can make iron containers which have more durability whenever you're outside, but for the most part, they don't really give you that much extra in the form of storage space. So if I were you, I would just craft several wooden storage containers or wooden cabinets because it's just not really worth going and spending all that iron to get just a small amount of extra storage space when you could have just made 2 cupboards and had even more. Second is that if you die, you only lose the XP that you have gained so far of that level. So to give you an example, let's say I die halfway from level 39 to level 40. I would only lose 50% of that level as XP. However, if I die right after I hit level 39, I would only lose a very small amount because there's only a small amount of XP that I've gained. So what this means, if you are intentionally trying to die for some reason, such as to get to your drop pod quicker, it's worth trying to go ahead and make sure that you get that last little bit of your level and you've dinged recently so that you don't waste as much XP. Third is the Unstuck in caves. Now, what we're talking about here is actually kind of a bug in a way, so be careful and use it at your own risk. What we do want to mention is that what you can do is sometimes when you're in a cave, if you hit escape and then click Unstuck, you'll get the nice benefit of being teleported straight back to your drop pod. This is because it can't find a place to put you with the Unstuck button, and we don't know how long this will work. It seems like they've already patched some caves, so some work and some don't. But with that being said, it is very useful, and you just want to be careful because if you do ever hit Unstuck and it sends you back to your drop pod in a dead body, then it will actually glitch your corpse into the drop pod and you won't be able to get your loot. So again, use this mechanic at your own risk as it's not actually an intended one in the game as far as we can tell. Fourth is that you should explore caves with the camera mode if you don't have shadows turned down. Now, if you do have shadows turned down, you've probably noticed you can see in caves pretty well. However, if you don't have it turned down or you just don't like how it makes the game looks and you like to be more immersed in your game like we do, go ahead and hit 8 on your numpad to pull up the camera mode. Then you're going to want to turn up the lens exposure, and after you do that, you should be able to see in the cave while you're flying around in this little camera mode. It's extremely useful to figure out if a cave has whatever resource you need. I know I used this a lot when I was doing gold hunting because I could quickly scout out an entire cave, tell if maybe there was something high up that I couldn't see otherwise with my torch, and a lot of other little benefits. At the end of the day, camera mode is super useful for seeing in the dark, especially when it's in caves. Fifth is you should start considering carrying around some thatch ramps, or at least the materials to make some. And the reason we're saying this is because if you're in a cave and let's say you want to mine something or you need to get over a hill and you don't want to walk around it, it's really nice to be able to just go ahead and throw those down in order to get to the ore you need to get to and then hit Y to pick them back up. That way you don't ever have to craft them again. They weigh next to nothing, and just carrying around 2 to 4 of these will save you so much time when you're doing missions. Number 6 is going to be that resources will respawn in your outpost when you log in and out. Now, I know some of you might not have the outpost because you didn't pre-order, but if you happen to have one, you can log in and out in order to make all the ore in caves, all the trees, everything in the game will respawn for you. This is very nice as there's a very limited amount of resources on these outposts, so we know we've used this personally as a way to get resources when we run out in all the different caves. Seventh is how to unlock the radar and extractor in tier 4. The reason that you care about this is so that you can get them to gather some exotics through drilling into the ground, which is arguably useful versus not useful. But with that being said, in order to get them, you're first going to need to do the mission Payday Extraction. This is on the top list. It's a little purple border at the current point in time when recording this video. If you do this mission, it's going to take a large amount of time, and I highly recommend you either check out a guide video or if you want, check out our guide video on it, as it explains everything you're going to need to have, as there's a lot of prerequisites and it's going to take on average somewhere in the realm of a minimum of about 8 hours all the way up to sometimes 20 to 24 hours depending on how quick you are and how many people you have working together. Eighth is a way in which you can use your excess bones to get more usable resources. Now, what you can do here is let's say you don't care about bone arrows, or you already have all the bone tools or better that you don't really care about. What you can do is you can take those extra bones you get from killing animals, put them in your mortar and pestle, assuming you have the bone meal recipe unlocked, and then go ahead and turn them into bone meal. I believe it takes 4 or 5 bone meal to turn it into 1 epoxy, which is an extremely important resource for all of the higher tier stuff. Personally, we have saved so much time having to gather sulfur and stuff just from using up the leftover bones we have laying around that we never use anyways. So it's a way to take a resource you otherwise would probably not use much of and start to use a lot of on those longer missions. Alrighty, we are almost there with number 9, which is that swimming in water doesn't actually take stamina and allows you to move faster when using sprint. Now, I know this is a little bit of an obvious tip for some of you, but personally we didn't realize this till quite a ways into the game, and it's a very easy thing to miss. When you're swimming in the water, first off, it doesn't take oxygen. Second off, when you're swimming, if you sprint, it will not consume your stamina, and it will make you move faster. It's a subtle difference, but if you're swimming across a large lake or something, it actually can cut a significant amount of time down, so it's just a little thing you might not have noticed that is definitely worth doing. Now, coming in at number 10 is our favorite tip on this list today, which is a tip that we didn't realize for 100 hours, and that is the simple fact that you can drink water out of a water bottle to put yourself out when you're on fire. I don't know why this is a thing. Maybe you're pouring it on yourself or something is kind of the idea here. It's so weird, but basically what this means is if you have a water bottle on you, whether that's the exotic or the little leather one or a steel one, whatever, if you have a water bottle and you're not near a body of water to jump into, if you happen to catch on fire for some reason, just open your inventory, right click, consume the water. You can't do it by just leaving it in your equipment slot, so I believe you have to take it out and actually consume it. It's worth noting, I never realized this. I think a lot of people miss this one, but it is extremely useful and has now saved my life at least 2 or 3 times. Now, I really hope you guys found some of these tips useful today. Again, if you want to see more tips videos, check out our other ones. I believe we have 5 or 6 other tips videos for you guys to check out at this point in time, and hopefully some more coming here in the near future. You guys seem to really be enjoying the Icarus content, and we really enjoy making it for you. So thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe for more Icarus and other survival game content. I'm Game Advisor, and I'll see you next time.